live one here.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the new long-awaited episode of Franchise Film Review Friday. In today's episode, as you can see, I have a few of past guests that have been on my show. We have officially started calling ourselves the Dark Knights of the Roundtable, and we couldn't think of a better way to start out than discussing Batman. Now, we are going to be discussing every Batman from Adam West all the way up to recently Ben Affleck. But before we get started on that, as of filming this, I would like to wish this man here a happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Brandon.
Thank you.
So now that we've sufficiently embarrassed his ass, we'll get going. We're going to go ahead and kick it off with 1966 Adam West Batman. Who would like to open the discussion?
I will. I'm probably the only one at the table that will actually say I still have some fairly good memories of the Adam West, because as a kid I watched it all the time, and that was one of the things that drew me in to Batman a lot. Brittany's over there shaking her head, but you know, the 1966 campy Batman, you know, was, you know, for what it is, it does a good job for what it is.
Yeah.
A campy show and everything for the time period.
So you're the glass half full type.
Yeah, very much.
I think,
But I'm not going to sit here and say that Adam West himself is the best Batman. Not really even close.
I think for the time, he's probably the best they could have got.
Exactly. You see, because we have to think time periods here.
Yeah.
It's the 1960s, and I've even heard the phrase that there was the three Bs of the 60s. There was Bond, Beatles, and Batman.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and that pretty much was it. I like you as a kid. That's how I actually got into Batman.
Now, you know, I was thinking about this before I came here today. If I was an adult that was introduced, never heard of this, but it was introduced to this first.
Yeah, exactly.
But now, I'm saying, I liked it when I was a kid. So as a kid growing up watching it, I look at it differently.
It's kind of a nostalgia feeling.
Exactly. It's more of a nostalgia.
Okay, see, therein lies the generation gap that makes me despise Adam West as Batman.
Okay, now I'm going to point that out. Me and you weren't that far apart in age, and yet I watched it, and yeah, it was cheesy as fuck. I mean, it's like Holy Nachos Batman. It's not cheese.
Yeah, it is. Big time.
But it...
I want to tell you guys a story, and David, if you're watching this, you'll remember this. We're missing one of our friends who was supposed to be here because of family illness, but I remember one time David was crashing at my house, and this will tell you how old I am. Screw all of you, by the way. It's when DVD players had first started coming out. I was like maybe 19 or 20. I bought one of those big, bulky DVD players for like $200-300. It's one of the first things I ever bought when I was working for Walmart. And I was going through in the electronics department, and I saw Batman's 1966 Batman on DVD, and I bought it. David was crashing at my house that evening, and we're like, we're going to watch Batman. And we're watching it, and it came to that part with the helicopter scene, and Batman's on, Batman's getting attacked by the shark. Bring me the shark repellent bat spray. Me and David, we simultaneously looked at each other. What the fuck is shark repellent bat spray?
Exactly.
But that will sum up just how cheesy that was.
It was. It's very, very cheesy.
And then the helicopter's on autopilot while Robin acrobats down the ladder and gives it to him.
Yeah. Doing a nice little backward thing. You know, a little backward, not flip, but he just hangs backwards to give Batman the...
And I honestly think it was Burt Ward, possibly more than Adam West, that brought the cheese factor to that show.
With his lines.
Yeah, it was his lines, and
of course, Adam West didn't help with the Bat-Tusi.
No. No.
Anybody got anything else to add for 1966?
I will say this.
I can't think of the actress's name, but the actress that played Catwoman was fine.
Lee Merriweather,
yes.
The original Catwoman. Yeah, I'll give you that.
She was very fine, and Versus
Meredith as the Penguin. That was always good.
Whack, whack, whack. I love it.
With Adam West and everything, man, I'm kind of looking at personality traits on how each Batman kind of took addressed authority and everything. And just several things about Adam West's Batman stuck out to me since he kind of had a problem with it, especially when they did stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Such as when he was telling the Admiral, says, you don't sell a nuclear submarine to someone who doesn't give their full address. And it hangs up. It's like, wow, you just kind of got kind of pissy there.
He just busted his balls wide open.
And there is a positive effect to Adam West. He's got a nice Bruce Wayne look to him.
Yeah, he really did.
He's real slick, and he has a fatherly like.
You have no positive things to say about this.
Nothing.
Nope.
Well, this is the time. This is what this is for.
What is your biggest problem with it? I mean, besides just the opening.
As hell.
Is that just it? Just campy and cheesy as all get out? Because
I don't like the way he portrays the character. I know they put him in that position, but I don't like the way the character is portrayed in that movie because to me, it's entirely stupid in the first place.
What you have to consider though is even though Batman is a dark character, back during that time frame, they really couldn't have that kind of portrayal.
See, Bob Kane created Batman, and Bob Kane created what we consider to be the pinnacle of the Batman character, which is what we're going to get to it here in a moment, which is what Tim Burton brought to the forefront. We'll get to that in a moment. But they took, when you get into the early to mid 50s, they took the dark Avenger of the Night and transformed him into this real flashy, campy character. And that was where that lead into the 60s, and that's where we get this, you know. So,
but comic book conceptually, Batman has always been a darker, grittier character.
Yeah. But, not to get into the comics a whole lot, but by the time we get to the 1970s, we have different actors, different writers, different illustrators that start bringing him back to his roots. So
from 66, we jump all the way to 89, and what was it, 92, I think?
89 and 92.
Tim Burton with Michael Keaton playing Batman.
I'm Batman.
Now, a lot of people, when it came out that Keaton was going to be cast as Batman, they had a lot of issues with that. One of the things, the biggest, was because of his height, because he's actually kind of a shorter guy.
He's 5'10", and the Batman character is actually 6'2", so that's a few inches shorter than what. But
if you also look at it, up until that point, he'd done a lot of comedic roles. Beetlejuice, Mr. Mom, and that kind of stuff.
I think that was the biggest reason that they didn't like Michael Keaton. Like, how can this guy, this comedian, play such a serious character? They were so worried about it, but it's kind of the same thing they had with Ben Affleck later on.
Now, to me, I'm not going to say Keaton was my favorite, but he ranks pretty damn close because he brought that darkness into the character that you were really expecting. But he also had that sort of ruggedly handsome Bruce Wayne good looks when he was out of the cape and cowl.
You see, that's how I always look at it. I always divide it into two. The actor that plays Batman, I always add the Bruce Wayne element to it. I divide it into two. And then whoever...
Because he's got to be able to separate the two identities.
Whoever can play both parts good, and I take it all into consideration who plays it both overall the best.
I can't choose
I really
a favorite because...
Well, right now we're just discussing Keaton's performance.
Well, when we get to the end, that's when I'll discuss who are probably my favorites and all the way down the list.
Yeah.
Well, see, for me, that's what I was agreeing with Uncle Lele is he ranks pretty high on my list for portraying Batman because I like how dark.
Oh, Michael Keaton's Batman is high on my list.
Oh, yeah.
He's either going to be number one or probably number two. Or tied with somebody for that spot.
We'll get to that, though.
Because I like how dark he portrays the character more so.
And there's one thing I like to add to him. He doesn't even have to change his voice.
Nope.
No, he really didn't.
He didn't at all, actually.
He didn't have to, I'm Batman.
Yeah.
He had to do it. He just goes, I'm Batman, and just throws the guy down.
Yeah.
That was just freaking, okay, so much for the comedian now.
Yeah,
this guy could rip your throat out and smile while he's doing it. So.
Tell a joke and rip you apart at the same time.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
And then while we're on the subject of the actor themselves, we can also talk about the bat suits.
Yeah.
And the distinction with the bat suits. Too.
Now, if you want to go back to '66 for a moment, that bat suit was ridiculous.
The
suit was ridiculous.
Yeah.
That was beyond ridiculous.
Oh yeah. real shiny, flashy.
Yeah.
You know,
And the way Adam, you could tell Adam West was like sucking it in. You know,
No,
he didn't have the physique for that.
No, he really
Here's
didn't.
one thing I noticed that in the 1966 versions and everything. Okay, pulls the cloak in front of him. Oh, I can see him. The fuck?
So, okay, you didn't go. You didn't say much about Michael Keaton. What do you have to think about his performance overall?
I think he brought the emotional state that back from the comics to the Batman movie and graced it to the theater and all that. I think he brought the emotional state of Bruce Wayne to the fore and everything. And he was pretty much emotionless and everything. And he hid all that because of what he had to do. A few things I conflicted a little bit about, but then I'm like, well, Batman never intentionally kills people, but then again, he did remote control the Batmobile into the daggum chemical plant and dropped a bomb and killed probably 30 people.
Well, we can also go further. He's in a fighter jet that looks like a bat, and he's firing bullets and rockets at the Joker's man, and then he's trying to shoot the Joker himself. How can you miss one person? That's just,
I think that goes back to the Batman mentality of not killing anybody. I think it was more an intimidation factor.
Maybe it was.
As opposed to just actually trying to kill him.
Maybe it was.
Don't work with the Joker. He's insane.
So what do you got? You haven't said much. What do you got to say about it? Oh, you know, suit, overall story for the movies, his performance. What do you got to say? At least we didn't have bat nipples in that one.
Oh my God, we're gonna get to that later.
I've got something on the ears to the suit. And this goes as well for the movie verses as well as the comics and everything. Depending on how tall the ears on the suit were, based how close to actual reality it could have been.
Yeah.
Like the shorter they were, the more everything that's happening is more something that could occur. The taller they were, the more far-fetched.
Yeah.
Which if you notice with the movies and everything, they're still more like a medium height. They're not just like outlandishly large.
Yeah. The Michael Keaton Batman movies, the horns were like this
pretty
high.
Yeah. I like that one. I prefer it when they're higher.
I honestly think it gave it a more of an intimidating look.
Yeah,
it kind of does.
It kind of does. But I noticed the horns get a little bit short. Well, they go from the like super short Adam West horns to the really
taller
ones. But
then
they start trying to make a downturn because by the time we get to Batman Begins, they're sort of like in the middle.
Yeah.
Not high, but they're not really low.
With Keaton's horns on his hat and everything, it's just like the ones on your shirt. They're wider and they look more like they're supposed to. But when you get like the Clooney, which we'll get in a little bit, those are actually a lot thinner and more just straight pointed. That's where the fantasy comes in. That's what they're talking about. The wider they were and everything, the more closer to reality, and the shorter they were. But the longer and skinnier and more pointed they were, the further away from.
But one thing Doug touched on a while ago that I was, thinking about bringing that reality of that emotion that Michael Keaton had. We could clearly see the distress. This goes to show you how good of an actor Michael Keaton is too. When he's in the Batcave, and you can tell that he's under great stress of his parents' loss and things like that. Big time.
Or right there on the City Hall steps and everything when he's watching
that too.
Watching the Joker leave, he's like.
Okay, so I think we've sufficiently covered Michael Keaton.